Washington State is known for its iconic scenery just as much as it's notorious for its culinary delights that it produces, from delectable seafood to its famous apples and cherries. However, what you may not know is that Washington has become a major player in the international wine industry, as it's now second largest in the country, behind California when it comes to producing world-class wine. And while consumers are enjoying our wine products, there's a push within the local industry to get vineyards and wineries to produce their products in a more sustainable manner. For some people, wine is a treat to be enjoyed with a meal or when relaxing with friends. But when it comes to its initial source, many are unaware of the origin of the grapes or how, where, or in what manner they were grown. But a new program called Sustainable WA is helping participating vineyards and winemakers to produce their products in ways that help everything from the land, the water supply, and even the well-being of their employees.
The unique thing about wine is it never lies to you.
Nathaniel Heligso is the program manager for Sustainable WA. He says this program goes much deeper with vineyards and wineries than just with the existing issues of pesticide use and water supply.
It's a holistic standard. So it's not just saying, don't use certain pesticides. It's looking at the entire business operation and saying, are all aspects of this sustainable? Can it continue in this ethical, healthy manner?
With more than 1,050 wineries producing a total of 17 million cases of wine while adding $8 billion to the state's economy annually, Washington has become a heavy hitter among wine-producing regions, and the Yakima Valley is home to most of the state's vineyards, helping growers with its rich and ancient volcanic and flood-deposited soils, as well as its hot summer days and cooler nights.
It's not just a product in the bottle, it's where it's grown, how it's grown.
That's where you could find Two Mountain Winery. It's family-owned and it produces estate-grown wines on 150 acres, and they also participate in the Sustainable WA program.
Opening up the fruit zone here where the fruit is to allow the right amount of light.
Patrick Ron is the co-owner and vineyard manager at Two Mountain Winery. He says growing and producing sustainable wines are how he connects with his customers.
We're proud of the way we farm. We're proud of the way we farmed for generations, but increasingly consumers, and rightly so, are skeptical, and they want to know where things are grown or made and how they're grown or made.
Ron says growing grapes and producing wine in a sustainable manner is more of a business model than a farming method.
Farming is a weird business. Wine grapes and everything else is that the time horizons that we have to take as farmers. We're making large capital investments that return many, many, many years in the future. And you really have to think about making your business decisions on a generational time horizon. We're not making business decisions for a return next quarter or even next year. And so the sustainability, the holistic approach across all three pillars really aligns well with that mindset.
From farm to bottle, the bottom line in producing quality wine starts on the vine, and using sustainable measures like creating habitats for beneficial insects and birds of prey that thrive on pests, and adding reasonable irrigation techniques, and managing canopy so the eastern Washington summer sun doesn't do damage. Sustainability also involves a human aspect in social justice and taking care of those who help harvest the grapes.
I think the community and the people on our farm are everything, right? Without the crew that we have doing the excellent job that they're doing, the grapes aren't as good and the resulting wines aren't nearly as good. And so it's vital that we figure out and have processes and have baked into our business systems that we're taking care of our employees through wages, through educational opportunities, through advancement opportunities, through supporting the community.
Whereas I'm going to do a deacidification trial on the vintner.
So the difference between really good wine and incredibly great, stupendous, spectacular wine is minuscule percentages of certain flavor compounds and mouthfeel compounds that end up in your wine. So those are more plentiful, you have more to work with, you can make better wine more easily if your fruit is healthy.
Brian Mackey is the winemaker at Deneen Vineyards, that's also located in the Yakima Valley. He says successful winemaking involves sustainability that's achieved on multiple levels.
No matter how you define it or how you measure it, is longevity and health of the wine, of the industry, of the environment, of the neighborhood, of the community. That's why it's important.
Marissa Deneen is the owner and vintner of Deneen Vineyards, who's also Sustainable WAS certified.
We really hope that what we do here will last for generations. And so sustainability is really the tool to help us get there.
Deneen points out that sustainability in the wine industry is more important than ever, especially when it comes to dealing with climate change.
The world is getting warmer and drier. So how can we better manage our resources to protect against that? And that's how can we get smarter about managing the canopy so that the grapes don't get sunburnt? How can we get smarter about managing water so that we have enough? So these are just things that we constantly are innovating on and trialing different things. This is probably our flagship and best-selling white. And we named it.
Growing grapes, producing wine, and getting it to customers is a process all wineries in Washington and the rest of the world are involved with. But vintners who are certified by Sustainable WA say it's really about constantly raising the bar.
What Sustainable WA and sustainability more generally do is they say we follow the letter. So we're constantly improving, we're thinking about many aspects of sustainability.
While Washington is widely known for being an environmentally conscious state, it's not surprising that our region's ecoculture is finding a successful way to work with its viticulture.
So whatever you do out in the vineyard, the wine's going to pull that up, drink that in, and that's going to come through. This is about improvement. It's about improvement for them, their vineyards, their operations, for Washington itself, for their neighbors. That's the underlying heart of this, is to grow